All right, guys, happy Monday. Dennis, I'm going to have you mute yourself, my man, get a little background noise. There we go. Happy Monday, December 4th. It was my mom's birthday yesterday. So coming to you full of excitement, full of gratitude, but an empty stomach. And let's talk about some mind work that I'm doing right now, because I believe that this is fully a mind exercise versus, oh, it's good for the body. I think it's good for the body, but I'm doing 86 hours with only water and only bone broth. The first day I only had water and tea, and then today I introduced bone broth, and I'm going to do that until Wednesday night. And so like I said, you guys, like any of these challenges, whether it's this, water cleanse or whether it is 75-day hard, your body can do it. You're all capable of doing that physically. You guys can do that, all of us. Well, don't ask my wife, because she thinks that she's dying right now, but I know she's not. She's just depleted. But Ashley, she thought she was going to have to call the ambulance this morning. But anyway, she's not handling it that well. But the point here is that this is all a mental game. I do this to myself on purpose. I know it's hard. I've done juice cleanse. I did 75-day hard twice. We hiked Mission Peak, and then 3 days later, I went and hiked it again. And it's all to put myself in these scenarios that are testing me, that are pushing me past what I'm capable of, what I think that I'm capable of. Because your boy's hungry. All right, I'm not a small dude. I'm 235 pounds. I love my food. I love my calorie intake. But I knew that if I did this, that I'd be able to grow. And so I'm purposely mind fucking myself to do this in order for me to grow. So I want to challenge you guys, whatever that is. Thank you. I appreciate that. Whatever that is, whether it is a workout challenge, whether it is fasting, whether it's intermittent fasting, whether it is 75-day hard, whether it's some type of push-up challenge for the next 30 days, whatever it is, you can do it. Your body can do it. It's the mind that disconnects you from the thing, right? It's just like a runner. There's runners on here. Your body can handle the run, but it's that 0.2. It's that last couple miles. It's that 0.2 of a mile that people are just finding themselves breaking down because they're breaking down mentally. So you guys, I'm going to put myself in pressure situations, and I'm probably going to do more of this. So root for me. Root for Amanda. And hopefully, I told her, go get a burrito right now. If you just, she's the type of person that gets super hangry if she doesn't have food. Raise your hand if you're that person that if you don't have food at a scheduled time. Yeah, okay. So I had to fight through some of that yesterday. Amanda was talking to me, and I was just like, babe, I don't want to be short right now, but I will be short. I just want to watch Ink Master and sit here. I have no food in my system. So I love you guys. Just want to share that with you. I'm purposely putting myself in a pressure cooker situation, purposely pushing my mind to see how well I feel after this. I feel good. I've kind of fleshed my body, but it's just starting. Today I have bone broth for the first time, and I've never craved bone broth, and it's disgusting. However, that's where I'm at. Thought I'd share that sentiment with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go around the room. Who do I have? I'm going to go to Maria. Maria, I love you. I love how cozied up you are. I'm going to have you bring us out on the field today in your own way, in your own sentiment, with your energy as always. So if you would, please do us the honor of bringing this beautiful group of people out on the field on this beautiful Monday. And Demian, thank you, bro. Tell Bill to sponsor me. I'm telling you, tell him to sponsor me. Let's go, Maria.
Okay, so it's Monday. It's Mindful Monday. And ooh. I didn't read our 12 days this yet. But what I'm going to say, I always am about the mind. I'm always about getting your mind straight. Now, we got the holidays. Don't be trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't put a pause on it. As, Uncle E always says, this is a perfect time to connect with the people that you love, hold and near and dear to your heart. So it's part of your business this month. Reach out to people, even if it's just to say, hey, you know what? I'm sending out a Christmas card, or I'm sending out something for the holidays. Can I update your email? Can I update your address? Stay in touch with your database, with your people. It's a perfect time to leave holiday things around your community, your farm. And let's stay connected. I know with all of the holidays, Joellen and I were having a conversation. I'm like, man, this is the only day I have available. With all of the holidays going on and all the events going on, remember, number one, do not pause your business. continue forward in your business, talk about your business because you're going to be talking to a lot of people, and have fun. This is a season of joy. This is a season of love. This is a season of community and collaboration. Let's just enjoy all of it. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Okay, thanks guys for coming. That's it. That's all we wanted to share with you. But a couple things before we get rolling, before I give you some thought tracks for the morning. First things first, if you are on the team, you have this fortunate ability to get a list every single day. It's called the 12 days of December. Now, you're either going to choose to do it like Ashley last night was in Target or wherever she was at picking up cards so she can actually do the challenge. Now, Ashley's not a realtor. Ashley's not even on the team, but Ashley's just saying, all right, I'm going to run towards the action. Remember this. We've said it time and time again. Champions run towards accountability, not from accountability, right? So everyone always asks, well, what should I do? I don't know what to do every single day, but what I do know is that what you can do for the next 12 days. So check your phone every single day. There's a text message. In that text message, it gives you a prompt of the things that you could be doing for the day, and just do that. And if you did that appropriately, and if you did that every single day for 12 days, I promise you this, you'll just have engagement. And that's all that I want for everybody is engagement. So show of hands, how many people have actually done what day are we on? Are we on day 4? How many people have done the 12 days of Christmas or 12 days of December activity challenge? Okay, cool. So give me an emoji on the screen so I can see. All right, cool. Keep the emojis coming. That way I can just see where you guys are at. Okay, cool. All right, listen, if you have not, I want to ask you guys, I want to challenge you guys, first off, to ask yourself, why have you not done it? Because they're really simple and it's fun things for you guys to do to create more engagement. But 2, in the realm of possibility, could you do these things, right? In the realm of possibility, could you do these things? And let's go for a quick example today, you guys. Let's go for today. And obviously, I want to shift gears because not only team members on. Today's challenge. Send 50 holiday cards to friends, family, SOI, clients, and or database. Who put that in there? I need to join this. Yeah, absolutely. Brandy, I could just send you it every single day. That way you have it. But it's that simple, you guys. 50 handwritten cards. I don't know about you, but that is pretty easy. Yesterday was a knowledge exchange. Hop on a call with somebody and talk to them and have some dialogue about the market. Day 2 was create an educational reel, send 15 DMs, and post 10 stories. And then day 1 was send 25 videos or text messages to your client database, just wishing them happy holidays. This shit's easy, you guys. It's easy. So we're giving you the roadmap to make sure that you have tons of momentum from now until the end of the year. And here's what I want to say to everybody on this call, lender partners, friends, and everyone that's on the team. Don't wait. Don't sit there and say, oh, you know, when the new year comes, I'm going to start to do some of these things. Well, what are you doing now? Like, what are you doing now? This is the time, you guys, to raise the intensity, right? Oh, I'm going to start working out at the new year. Why? Start looking good now. Start feeling good now. Start doing your push-ups, your walks, whatever you got to do right now. So don't wait, you guys. So that's one thing I want to share with you just as a reminder. Number 2, Hugo, you're on the call right now. Hugo, can you take yourself off of mute really quick? I want to get some thoughts from you really quick before we go to the next topic. Hugo going once, Hugo going twice. All right, we'll come back to Hugo in a moment.
I'm right here. You hear me?
Hugo, let me ask you, bro. You dive right into the fire, and you're doing this cleanse with me. How you feeling? Tell us what you're experiencing right now.
Yes, sir. Man, well, I mean, both you and I, we do the intermittent fasting. So obviously to kick it off, it wasn't that difficult. But man, last night, it was tough. You know, you start feeling odd, but there's gain in that pain. You can feel it. You posted something really funny yesterday where you were like, the urine is super clear. It's so true. TMI, but it's feel it. You know, tried bone broth for the first time, you know, but it's like I mentioned, there's definitely gain in that pain.
Yeah, I love it, my man. And I'm here for support. So let's support one another because I've never done this before. Elizabeth, you had your hand up and then we're going to shift gears right now.
Yes, I just wanted to mention about the 12 days of Christmas challenge. It makes such a huge difference. I only just missed the educational video, but I've done everything else. But the most impactful for me so far was day 1. I'm getting emotional because I reached out mostly to my family because in our family, we rarely say that I love you. And so my sisters, my mom, my cousins, who I rarely see, and we live so close to each other, but we all just, we got married, we did our, we grew up, and the family grew so much that we hardly ever get together anymore. So it was just beautiful to seeing their response. Because I told them, let's break that bad habit. We rarely say I love you to each other, and I said we don't have to wait for the holidays to do that either. So it was very impactful, and they said I love you back. So, and they were both they were all surprised. They were all like, oh my goodness, thank God you did this. This made such a difference in my life. So thank you.
Wow. And you guys, listen, that's not what this is intended for, but that's what I'm hoping comes from it. It's just more meaningful conversations and more meaningful connections. But this is like directly for your family. Like maybe think about the power of this, you guys. That one video breaks this curse within the family of like nobody is saying they love you or expressing. There's this stoic feeling amongst our family members and like we're not expressing, or maybe that bridged the gap from non-communication, right? And I'm going to say this, and I'll be real. Otis posted something yesterday about his, like he doesn't get it if you're not talking to your siblings or something like that. I haven't talked to my sister in such a long time because I refuse to be judged by whatever she's judging me from, whatever. But that's an opportunity for me to bridge that gap. So Liz, I'm glad that the 12 days of December are working for you on a very personal level. Much love. Otis, let's hear from you, big dog. I saw you move. As soon as she started talking, I knew you'd have something to chime in on this.
Thanks for commenting on that as well. I put that out there because, a lot of people know I lost my brother 10 years ago. Yesterday was his birthday. Today's my mom's birthday. Shout out to your mom too, Elias. I don't get it for any reasons. It's not a judgmental thing to judge anybody, but that shit's real, man. When they're no longer here and you have to see a picture and hope that you have video so you can hear their voice, like don't wait to reconcile till they're done. Don't sit there at the funeral crying over them and all the shit that you should have done. You still got every day to make it right, whether it's their fault, your fault. At the end of the day, go ahead. It's your family. Like it's not a stranger. It's not somebody that you just can fucking just say, I don't want to fuck with you anymore. Excuse my language, but find it in your heart. Be the bigger person. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, because you would do anything. When I say anything, to just be with my brother for one more second, just so I can tell him. I know he knows, but just so I can tell him physically. So, look it in your heart to see if you can be the bigger person, a bigger woman. And if not, at least you make out that olive branch. So when you go or they go, whatever, at least you know that you made your amends with it, whether they choose to accept it or not.
I love it. You guys, I thank you. I had no intention. I didn't think that that's how the 12 days of December would impact you, but I never know. All we're here to do is to create a condition, an environment, and you guys be able to choose to do this in your own ways. And I'm so glad that it's working out for you guys, and continue doing that. So you guys are on day 4. Hopefully you guys can finish that strong. So let's talk a little bit about this. No matter who's on this call, every single person on this call has experienced some type of growth in their life. Is that safe to say? Some of you have experienced tremendous growth, whether it was physical, spiritual, mental. Some of us, and I'll speak for myself, grew past addiction, right? All of these things. And so when you look at your life over the next 5, 10 years, and we're always going to talk about this like transformational journey, and I'm going to talk about the 10X book in a moment. I'm so glad that some of you are reading it. When you think about this transformational journey, like when you think about where you're going, this really big picture, that's the stuff that scares you, but you know what? It scares you so much that in spite of all that fear, you're still taking action because you're so pulled by that, right? That transformational journey. Well, any growth that you've had up to this point, I want you to go back and I want you to look at all of that growth, and I want you to break it down into phases. Meaning that if Maria said that she was able to grow to this person or do this in her life, okay, cool. I want you to go back for me. And what I mean by going back is go into the past and say, okay, when I grew from this person to this person, I want you to look at the phases of that growth, right? What was that phases of the growth? What was the first part? Maybe that first one was surrendering or accepting or communication. The second phase was the discipline. The third phase was the action. The fifth, whatever that looks like for you guys. I'm just giving you some context here. Because in order for us to build the future that we truly want for our lives and have this transformational life, and when I think about the life that I want for myself and I'm going to create 5 to 10 years from now, it is so big that it gives me chills, you guys. So, but everything that I've done up to this point has a model. And if you look at everything that you've done in any time that you've grown in your life, I want you to put that into your own sequence and your own model, meaning that when you got your real estate license, there was a huge part of growth there. Whether you stopped drinking, whether you chose, a path of faith, whatever that looks like, look at the moments in your life you experienced the most growth. And if you were to go back and be like, God, what was the phase of that? That in itself is creating a model for you. Now that model, if you've done it once in your life, if you've done it twice, if you've done it 3 times, if you've experienced growth in your life, which we all have, then you have created the system, right? This is the model for your future growth. So when you're looking at the next phase of your life and the next phase of your business, when you're thinking about 2024 and what you're creating, how you're going to achieve and all the things that you want to do in this world, what does that model look like? And I think a lot of the answers lie within. They all lie within. I'm here to give you some ideas and some context and help you guys lead the way and hopefully open some doors for you. But at the end of the day, I want you to go backwards. And I want you to look at all the growth that you've been able to have. I've seen personally in the last 3 years of being around you guys, I have seen life-changing growth from people on the screen right now. Life-changing growth. I've had life-changing growth. So I want you to look at your own model and be like, all I want you to do is I want you to break that model down into phases. Okay. Whatever your phases, that doesn't exist right now on paper. It's not illustrated. This is you creating your own phases of your own growth, because now what you have is you have a model. And then when other agents talk to you about, hey, Carlos, hey, Maria, hey, Ro, tell me a little bit about how you grew in the last couple of years and how you became that top producer. Well, you know what? My model was really, really simple, and I broke it down into these five phases. It was awareness, it was respect, it was discipline, it was implementation. Who is that? I don't know who that is, but can you mute yourself? So the idea behind this is to create yourself your own map, your own guide, because if you've done it before, then there's things in there that are clues for you to say, I'm going to start building this model out. Now, my idea right now is just to give you that thought and be like, all right, now I see where he's going with this. I want to pause for a quick second. I want to ask, who in this room has started reading the book 10X is Easier Than 2X? Please raise your hand if you have started to read that book. You guys, I want to encourage you, I want to implore you, I want to push you as we're starting to grow, as you guys are really doing the internal work, the external action. That book will be a game changer. I promise you. So blessing. Up to this point, I know you're probably a couple chapters in. What were some of your key takeaways right now? And how is it reshaping the way that you're thinking about your life and business? And I want to hear from you.
I stopped at the end of chapter 1 because I wanted to really dig into the concept of 10x versus the linear steps, because I'm very process driven. I'm very step by step. And I realized that's a limit. The example of Linda, the agent that was in that chapter, about how just accepting the challenge to go big was the catalyst instead of trying to figure out step by step how. And the one thing that she said is that every time she took the leap and hired an assistant, her business doubled. And it was just one of those things where you will not know the steps, or I won't know the steps. Let me just make it super personal. I won't know how. I just have to set that intention. I have to go big. It takes me to one of the quotes from Les Brown. If you shoot for the stars, if you shoot for the moon, you end up in the stars. If you only shoot for the stars, you may not get off the ground. So you have to think so much bigger if you want to achieve even the 2x. But if you go bigger, it really just opens up your mind. I love the book already.
Yes, it's truly about creating. I don't want an okay life. Like I'm happy, but I don't want an okay. And I'm not saying I need to be like have all the monetary riches. Like I want my family to be rich in culture and travel and experiences and love and like food and all those things, right? The money's nice too, but like I want my family to be rich in completely different ways. And so when I'm thinking about our growth, you guys, I want you to, first off, identify a time in your life where you truly, truly grew amazing. Like, what is that? Was it athletically? Was it physically? Was it as a mom, as a dad? Right? And think about that. Like, we all, for the parents on the call, we didn't know what to do. But if we would have thought about, oh my God, every single day, and what are they like? There's so many worries. But at the end of the day, he said, I'm just going to love my child and I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm going to raise my child to be the best human being. Like when you think about all of the smallest things, that like ask the people on this call that have more than one child. The first child, you worried so much about everything and everything. You read all the books, and the second child, you're fine. You're fine. It's all good. Right? Because you stop worrying about the small stuff. You said, you know what? I'm just going to focus on loving my child, raising a great child, great beliefs, great manners, and you're worried about the big stuff. And so as you guys are thinking about this, you guys, like, I really, really want to encourage you. If there's anything that I could do for everybody, I thought of that when my mindset shifted. Absolutely. What I want to encourage everybody to do is I want everybody to really look within themselves and say, God, I'm really proud of some growth that I've had. And if you've had that growth, capture that growth for a moment and say, okay, based on that growth, I'm going to break it into phases. Now I have a model for my growth moving forward. Let me ask you guys, what's something in your life that you did that you experienced tremendous growth? Was it your career? Was it children? Was it physical? Was it getting your real estate license? Tell me about a time in your life where you experienced the most growth or a big, huge growth moment in your life. Anybody want to share? Because I know we got a lot of them on the call today. I'm going to go.
I'll share.
Okay, Ro, let's hear it.
What happened for me, good morning, everyone, by the way, was stress was really killing me, was making me sick. And that's when I realized I needed to change my relationship, change my job, and I started my own business. And so it was tough. I mean, I was nervous. It's like I had to hustle. I had to reach out to people I'd met in my previous jobs and let them know what I was doing. I had to learn some new skills, such as bookkeeping and accounting. I had to pay my taxes on time. But it really helped me be a stronger person and to really be ready to take advantage of all the opportunities that were available to me, and to really grow. So unfortunately, it had to be something that, where I was really sick and had to figure out why and to do something about it.
So Rose, so stay here with me for a second. So as you're thinking about this and as you're thinking and embarking in what? A brand new business. You're now a bookkeeper in a brand new business. You're now accounts payable, accounts receivable. You're now a CEO of your own business. You're obviously facing challenges head on that might be scary as shit. You're having to deal with stress in ways that you might not have dealt with before. You have all these new things on your plate. So if you were to break down this model into phases, if you could articulate, what would phase one be for you?
You said awareness, and it was awareness that something wasn't right and I needed to do something different, that I wasn't happy, that I was stressed, that I was kind of going through the motions. And the second phase was to plan, is to really say, what do I want? How do I get there? The third phase was to connect. So reach out to people that I had worked with, to find a coach, to find a mentor, and then to start off small. So, 2 days a week, working my new business and transitioning out of my old job. So.
All right, you guys, stay with me because I have chills. Do you guys hear the direct correlation with her model and her phases in correlation to real estate? Did you guys hear it? So Ro, the fact that you can articulate it right now means that you already know what that I'm so excited for this because I didn't know if it would come full circle on the call. I just wanted to, but it just did. Like the things that you did before, you just, do I have a model? The first, yeah, it's actually awareness. It's like you just created your own model. So if you were to think about the phase that you're in right now in real estate, what phase are you in?
I think in the planning stage, and somewhat, and I think the implementation, I'm kind of caught between the two. Just really planning and kind of figuring out what my niche is going to be and how to implement that in terms of the social media, in terms of my marketing, in terms of the knowledge I need to build. So if this 55 plus is the kind of group I'm going to focus on, what all do I need to do to reach out to that client, and to have the knowledge I need to help them. So that's kind of where I am at this point.
God, I absolutely love this. And let's give her some love. Let's give her some light. And let's give her some kudos, give her some reactions. I think about it this way, you guys. When I was first studying to get my real estate license, I wasn't a reader at that time. I didn't have as much discipline as I have now. But in that first phase of my growth, I would call that like decision. I made a decision that no matter what, 2 hours a night, I was dedicating myself to practice exams, practice reading, so on and so forth. So that first phase was actually like me just deciding. And I'm so glad that like you've already like put this framework, and now you just take that model and you put it into real estate. And then you add other layers as you find out more stuff about yourself. But Ro, the fact that you just put that together, that's what I wanted for everyone. Otis, you had your hand up, big dog. Let's hear from you.
That was deep, bro. That was really deep. I felt every bit of that. For me, it's finding myself. I mean, I don't know how many people on this call are doing that right now. When I first started my whole process of getting my license, you got to go back to pre-COVID, like COVID started that March. I believe I started my studying in December. So every day for 4 hours, I'd get up at 6 o'clock from Hayward, drive to Richmond because I was working at Amazon at the time. And just literally lost everything. My production company, a bunch of stuff. I mean, like talk about low of lows. Building myself back up as an adult man. I don't know how many men are on here, how difficult that could be when you hit rock bottom, you know what I mean? From the standpoint where you got to move back in home, like when you're kind of like, at the pivotal of getting to your branch and what you wanted to do, and then having to start all over. Those 4 hours every day before work and then 2 hours afterwards, and then 2 years after just waiting to get the license. So that was it. And then the whole first year being on TFAST with a big fat zero, I learned more about myself in a whole year than I could ever in my whole adult life. Starting stuff and not finishing it, like I'd have so many degrees. We have my master right now if I would have studied stuff, but I have that personality where I just want to learn, and then I learn so much, and then I kind of pass it off and go on to the next thing. And I thought I was going to do that with real estate because I literally just got in for it, the money, and to save my family at the time. And I didn't think that where I'd be at where I'm at today, being there, showing up all the time. Like, I don't know who could go a whole year. I know there's probably some people on this team with getting zeros. And I'm talking about, I was active. I'm showing 60, 70 houses to clients. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being a real active person, but just not putting nothing on the scoreboard. So I learned a lot about myself that no matter what, I can push through, no matter how hard the cards are stacked against me, that as long as I get the drive and determination, like I know that I have, and me and all of us have on this phone call, that you could do it. You got to set yourself small off at goals. First, it was like, I'm sitting there listening to Kenny, Elias, and them, and the intake, like, competition in me, I'm going to be number one on everything. But, month go by, 3 months go by, 6 months, a year, to be like, damn, like, seeing all my peers, seeing some of you, like, getting into contract, I'm sitting there like, fuck, it's just not for me. But to where I'm at now, just stick with it. I'll leave you with this. My coach.
Otis, let me pause you for a quick second. When you think about let's call it the Otis White model, of growth, right? When you think about what phase one would be of your growth that you've had, right? Like I heard that you made some sacrifices, that you did some things early on in that first phase. Like when you look at your model, and here's what I want: when you're done working out, bro, I want you to write out this model. And I want you to be able to articulate what the Otis White model of growth has been. And I want you to apply that for the next phase of your life. What would you call phase one of your model?
I would call it figuring it out. Because I was all over the fucking place. I'm trying to do open houses. I'm trying to cold call. I'm trying to door knock. I remember going out with Cortez more than a couple of times knocking on doors. I remember getting with Chris and him strategizing over stuff, going to offices. And I stood true to what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do things. So I think that in any format in real estate for anybody, just find out what works for you. I found out that mine is the non-traditional approach way, the Otis White way, to just figure out what works for him and then stick to it. Because you can always implement things into it afterwards. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm starting to look into getting open houses at the beginning of January, because that's what I'm gonna start doing and getting back into cold calling and everything, and not just staying on referrals and online leads and partnering. So I know when I open up leg 2, 3, and 4, and Elias, you already seen what my marketing and my shit is doing as far as how I'm building and branding with the type of juggernauts that I'm doing. So just trying to stick to it in the model of, staying focused and still looking at what works for me, but implementing new things into that as well.
I love it. I love it. Man, let's hear from you, bro. I know that you're driving, but it looks like that you're stationary for a minute. Let's hear from you. What's your thoughts, contributions on the conversation?
Good morning, Otis. That made me raise my hand because whether it's year 1, 3, 5, I'm approaching 7. Sometimes you hit those valleys where it's like, shit, like, you do have to start over sometimes. And that's a point where I've learned that I don't want to continually come back to. So I love that you're addressing this, Elias, about what's the formula, and making me think back to that time when I went back to school. Like, I really was, at a figure it out phase at point in my life because it was so messed up. And it was really from my vantage point. Like, everybody around me has always been a cheerleader and a champion of things that I do. But interpersonally, it was just a point where I said, I got to make a change and I have to do this. So like you said, Elias, when you went to get your license, you weren't a reader at the time. Same thing with me. When I went back to school, I wasn't reading books, but then I hit the ground running immediately. I stopped smoking for a whole year. I started picking up books. Now we're like 10 years in and I'm 100 books. I don't know how many books. I'm an avid reader. It's at least 2 a month now, whatever the math is on that at this point. But it was a decision that something has to change that was the catalyst for all that. So, my phase 1 is making a decision that something has to change. And I appreciate this conversation because that's just a reminder, especially where I'm at in my business right now today. I've been in that mode, but I haven't really recognized it as being that I'm forced to make some changes. And I have implemented some changes, but this is a reminder that they're worthwhile and they're necessary, and I have to keep doing what I said I would do.
And really, really powerful because I didn't think about it this way as in a model of how I've gotten to where I've gotten in anything that I've grew in my life. I just didn't think about it this way until now. And that's why I love to read. And that's why I encourage you guys to read. And that's why I'm excited if we all read this book together. Because when I look at it now, it's like, God, there's a formula there. Because if the guy that went from being an alcoholic, never reading, didn't like discipline, would just fly by the seat of his pants, no systems, like if I can make a decision to say, I'm going to change my life, transform my life, and do things a lot differently in my life, and I made that choice, I actually have now a model. And the fact that Otis, the fact that Ro can start to articulate it, it's like, wow, okay, I do have everything that I possibly need in order for me to hit this level of growth that I want. Just like Rose said, I need to do the planning, right? How does your schedule look? Does your schedule align with what this vision for your business is, or are you still winging it every single day? So you guys, when you start to unpack it, it's a really, really effective, formula. Let's go JJ, and then we'll go to Blessing, and then we'll start shifting gears on the conversation. JJ, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Hey, so basically with me, I got lucky when I got my license, 2001 or 2000, whatever it was. I mean, it was easy to make money. We had all those fake ass ninja loans and all that stuff. So up until 2006, no, seriously, it was really easy to make money. And I was just a regular realtor. Wasn't thinking about investments or anything like that. I was literally the dude that you guys saw on those movies where they were going to the strip club and just being stupid, buying a bunch of jewelry and cars and all that crap because the money was super easy. And in 2006, I started realizing that all these people were screwing themselves because just like me, they were just, the money was easy. So it all happened. 2008, 2009, man, I went from being godlike to having to shut down my office and basically laying off 6 people. They were friends. I mean, they weren't just employees, they were friends because I couldn't afford to carry them. I literally lost probably 400,000 carrying them longer than I should have. Just basically hanging on. But I didn't have a plan at the time. I had a cushion, but I didn't have a plan until I hit rock bottom. And I sat down with my wife and I broke down. I'm like, dude, we're screwed. Everything we had we're at less than zero at this point. You know what I mean? The moves that I had made I didn't do them consciously. And so at that point, the thing that I started focusing on was, okay, I had all the external bullshit, to be honest with you, which was all it was. None of that stuff did anything for me. And now I don't even have that. And so what I did was I started focusing on what I think mattered, which is what I'm always talking about, income properties and helping people get that. So it doesn't have to be that for whoever's on the call, but I do think that the first thing or the main thing you should always have is whatever anchors you to what you're doing. Doesn't have to be whether you're regular sales or above $2 million properties, none of that. What it has to do with is, are you doing it for your family? Are you doing it to be able to retire early? Are you doing it for whatever reason is? That has to be the lighthouse, if you will, that you could always point back to so you can remember all the other stuff that you have to do. Because if you don't have that, you will consist. I don't care. I mean, you got the team has everything you can need. There's processes up the Yahoo for everything. But if you don't have something that's bringing you back, I don't even care if you want to make $500,000. If all you want to do is buy $500,000 and buy yourself a Porsche or whatever car you want, or buy $2 million, that's all right, whatever it is. But you have to have something that brings you back to why you're doing this, because in this business, as all you guys know, a whole day could go pretending like you're doing something and you're really not. So to me, that's the most important thing, is always coming back. You should be able to tell somebody as soon as they ask you, why are you in real estate? Not all the bullshit, oh, I'm here to help people. That might be true, but if you can't articulate why you want to help people and you're not just giving them a little paragraph of bullshit, then you really need to think about that part, because that's really what's going to help you push through, especially in a market like this. This market's not that bad. 2008, it was dead. I mean, we had 800 credit scores, 20% down. Okay, cool. See you in 6 months. Maybe the bank will fund you. Nothing was moving. It was dead. It wasn't anything like what we're going through right now. So we still have a very active market. You just got to strap them on a little bit tighter.
Yeah, you guys, JJ wasn't on the call on Friday. I don't think JJ was on the call. But what do we talk about? We talked about your own anchor, your own lighthouse, your own beacon, right? We talked about that. And it's in direct correlation with JJ just said. You guys, this is why when you talk to me, I want you guys to have clarity of what that is. And I'm so glad that JJ said that. You guys, we talked about this last week. There's 2 different types of whys. There's the why of why I'm actually doing this for me, for my family, chip on my shoulder, prove my dad wrong, whatever that is. And there's also the other why. The other why is, why are we doing this for the consumers, right? Why am I doing this for them? Do I want to help the Black and brown community? Do I want to help underserved? Do I want to help the millionaires create more millions? Like, what is that? So like, we're operating on 2 whys. But if you guys aren't clear, if you guys are not clear on the life that you want to have, then you need to sit there and you need to get absolute clarity and know, like, damn, I'm so clear on where I'm going. I don't know exactly how I'm going to get there, but every single day I'm going to work in congruency with that big vision. I'm not going to allow myself to not do things. I'm not going allow myself to say, I don't know how to do that. Fuck it. I'm going to figure it out. Oh, I'm scared on the calls. No, fuck that. Give me the phone. I'm going to call them. I'm not good on social. I don't care. I'm going to fumble through my words until it works. Right? Oh, well, I'm not good on, get up on that stage and figure it out. Something will flow, something will kick. And why? Because no matter what you're pulled by, I'm going to face all of that head on, you guys, no matter what, because I am so compelled. And JJ, I'm so glad that you said it and said it that way. Blessing, let's go over to you. Let's hear from you. You took your camera off. I don't know if you got a call. We'll come back to Blessing.
No.
Blessing going once, Blessing going twice.
I took my camera off. I took my camera off because I was starting to cut out, but there was something that Demian said that literally just clicked the conversation that we had on Friday, where we all have had past experiences. None of us were born into the real estate industry. We have all of these experiences that we get to stack the lessons that we learned from all of our past wins, all our fails, and we get to bring them forward and really have an awareness about ourselves. Rose said that her first phase, actually everyone said that their first phase was awareness. And then just that made me think that if you take all of your quote unquote fails from your past experience, they're truly wins because they allow us to start from where we are today with the understanding of, hey, don't do it this way because that's not really the way you want to present. I always say that there's something about real estate that makes you look at yourself in the mirror harder and deeper than any other job I've ever had, any other relationship, because it truly exposes who you are. And the deeper that you look at you, the more authentic you show up, which is what the rule number one for this team is: be you. But also in real estate, the ones that are most successful in every category, every country, every market are the ones that know themselves. So being able to stop and look at who you are and take those wins and say, that actually is a win, or take that fail and be like, that's actually a win, and move forward, is just propelling this conversation, like propelling the process, your process forward. So I think this is such a profound conversation that we're having, especially on a Monday, especially in this season, because a lot of people do slow down. What are we slowing down for? So just wanted to share that.
And you know what? It's a Monday. I have zero food in my system for 48 hours. So, but we're all still here. We're all still doing the damn thing. But you guys, if anything, I want you to create, and I took this directly from the book that I'm reading. I want you to create in your businesses this culture of freedom. And what this means, and to articulate this further, it means that when you're truly, truly focused on everything that you want to be doing in this business, you're pulled by this vision, you have absolute clarity, and you're in alignment. Then you allow yourself to focus on these 5 categories of your business. You get to focus on the innovation of your business. You get to focus on the strategies within your business that are helping you grow. You get to be the visionary of your organization of where we're actually going. Do I want a team? What does that look like? Where are we going? What's Maria's company look like? It allows you to collaborate at the highest level and allows you to keep on evolving, right? As the times change, as the market changes, are we evolving with our communication, right? Think about evolution of business over the last 10, 15 years. EQ was never a part of the conversation. Emotional acuity was never even a part of the conversation. So what we've done as business people, we've evolved. We've become more sensitive, more aware. Some people got soft, but I didn't get soft. I just became more aware. So it's an opportunity for you guys to look at everything that you're doing right now and like, big picture, big picture. Let's talk about moving your needle this week, you guys. You guys obviously know that it's the holidays. Whatever it is that you're doing, you guys need to take advantage and just say, okay, I might not be where I want to be, or maybe I am. I might be an up and comer. Doesn't matter where you're at. December is the time where you can truly, truly just put your heart into this game. Whether or not you celebrate Christmas, you probably celebrate the holidays. If you don't, it's okay. There's just a reason right now to reach out. So here's what I want to challenge everyone to do. I want to challenge everybody to go back in every single day and go to the 12 days of activity. Now, you might have missed a couple of days. It's all good. Go back, because these are the things that are truly going to move the needle in your business. And then I want you to ask yourself this. All right, team, that's you. All right, this is your marketing meeting. Your marketing meeting is laying out all of your marketing collateral pieces and campaigns for the month of December. All right, let's go around the room. Ryan, what do you got for today? Ryan, what's over here? All right, Ryan, what are we doing? Ryan, okay, cool. What are the implementation dates? All right, cool. Who owns that? Ryan, we good? Cool, let's go. This is the type of conversation you need to have with yourself. You need to stop. You need to have a marketing meeting with yourself, and you need to ask yourself, what am I launching this month? What am I launching this month? Right? And what am I doing? How many times? Am I doing Christmas? Am I doing Grinch? Am I doing this? Am I doing the one-to-one videos? Am I sending everything out to my database? My sphere? Like, what does that actually look like? What's your marketing campaign? It's December. Be very, very clear on that. I'll give you an example. One of our friends and good buddies out in Arizona, they're doing this competition that whoever, I think, tags, I forgot the details of it. Well, the point is, Greg, maybe you could talk about it. Whoever wins gets an actual flamethrower. All right, now this is right on brand with who they are. His team leader is Justin Mercer, the tattooed realtor. But whoever wins this competition that they're doing for December gets to win this fucking crazy ass flamethrower. Now, I'm not saying that you guys have to be a flamethrower, but maybe you guys can do some type of push on social media that gives away 2 tickets to foreign cinema. You guys give away 2 tickets to go see Home Alone at the San Francisco Symphony with an actual orchestra playing the score music. It's going to cost you probably about $150. I went and did it last year and saw The Godfather. If I had a chance to win that, I would put my name in that hat every single day. Every single day. Oh, there's a raffle for that? So I'm just saying, you guys, have a marketing meeting. If you're on a team or you have a team within the team, talk to the people. If not, then you need to sit down, schedule a marketing meeting, map this shit out, and know exactly what you're going to do for the month of December and going into January. I'll come right over to you, Liz. But Greg, tell us about the flamethrower. I know you spoke about it last week on a different call. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Talk to us about this flamethrower. How does people win or enter to win the flamethrower? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so we run an investment company. We partner with realtors. We give them extra resources and value. Like, really, we win when realtors win too. That's kind of our message. So we wanted to come up with the biggest, baddest, loudest, best referral competition we could. So send us a deal. We buy it from you in the month of December. You get a flamethrower as soon as we close. I mean, how exciting is that? How over the top? It's just silly, right? Like, that literally started as a joke, but like everybody's reactions right now, like, how stupid is that? That's what we're going for. Exactly that. Like, when we want people to think of us, we want, like, what the fuck is those crazy guys? And oh my gosh, those guys give so much value. Why would you not work with them? That's the message.
I love it. I love it, you guys. There was another person, the same call that Greg and I were on last week with Play Bigger. He's the #1 agent in the entire state. I think it was South Carolina or North Carolina. And don't hold me to that. I don't know which one it was, but he does annual homemade vanilla. He has this cool jar. He has his logo on it. And he does it every single year. And the engagement, the calls, the people are actually calling him for refills for their out of vanilla almost. And it's branded to where he can use it all year long. It's not Christmas, it's not decorations of, like, the holiday spirit, but he crushes it every single year with his homemade vanilla. Homemade vanilla, simple. So Greg, I love it. Greg, put your information down below. If anyone on the team has an investment opportunity, wants to work with him, they're buying homes at scale, feel free to connect. Liz, let's hear from you, and then we're going to start wrapping the conversation. All right, Liz, we're going to try for 3 more seconds,
Okay,
and we're
there
going
it
to move
goes.
on.
No,
There we are.
I was just at a education conference last week over the weekend, and there was a really good speaker, Mark Perna, and this was related to education and careers, mostly for educators, teachers, and students as well. But one of the things that he mentioned, which was really important, is kind of like working backwards. Like, what do you want your lifestyle to look like in your future? and then that will help, you with your future career path. So I just thought, he said, education with passion leads with business with purpose, or something like that. But Mark Perna, yeah. So I thought that made sense.
I love it. I love it. You guys, here's the thing. If you want to move your needle this month, if you want to move your needle this week, if you want to start today, then literally go back to your 12 days of activities if you don't know what to do. But you guys should. You guys are running, like I said, you're a media company, ... realtor. That's our responsibility to be the best marketers. That's who is winning. If you're not leaning into social media in the month of December, what are you waiting for? This is a great time of year to create some cool content. If you're not making a high note presentation, here's an idea for you. And this is going to come out in our 12 days. But if you're not part of the 12 days, make a list of the hottest deals of the week, holiday deals of the week. What's up, you guys? Hey, I created a list of the hottest deals on the market right now. It's called my Otis's holiday list. DM me the word home and I'll make sure to give you that list. And all you do is put some houses that you found that had multiple days on the market, price drops, investment opportunities. You heard of an off market. You put that into a high note presentation and you give that to people and be like, wow, cool. Did you like any of those homes that I sent you, Otis? Nah, those weren't good. Okay, tell me a little bit more about what you're actually looking for. And maybe I have something else that fits your need. Okay, cool. All you're doing is sparking conversation, you guys. I cannot tell you enough. Milk it, milk it, milk it. Schedule yourself a marketing meeting. Last thing I want you guys to do, or excuse me, first thing I want you guys to do is I want you to identify what your model is. The second thing I want you to do is have a marketing meeting with yourself. And the third thing I want you to do is just execute. Just execute. That's it. That's it. I'm going to Mexico December 13th. I'm going to be there for 5 days. You guys, there's so many things that I'm putting into motion right now to make sure that that event is great. Things are great while I'm here, and it's all in alignment with what I'm creating, what I'm building in 2024. So you guys, I want you guys to just step it up this week. It is a great opportunity. Let's go around the room and hear a couple key takeaways before we close out the sesh. Ashley, I want to hear from you. Key takeaways from our time together today. We'll go Ryan Fong, we'll go Lisa Torres, and then we'll close shop. Ashley, let's hear from you. 1, 2. No, okay, we're gonna move on. All right, cool. Ryan Fong, let's hear from you. Key takeaways from our time together today.
Yeah, breaking down your growth into phases is really important, because then we could just replicate that in the future. And that's what I need to do. Go back what worked in the past, so that way I can use it upcoming in the future.
Totally, man, because you have a model of success where you are right now, things that you've accomplished in your academic life, physical life. Okay, because Ryan, your body didn't always look the way it did. If you've ever seen Ryan, the dude's fit. Your body didn't look like this always, right? Unless, I mean, some of you are lucky.
No, for sure not.
Okay. So think about your growth and what it took for you to have the gains that you have now, right? Good stuff, my man. Good stuff. Ashley, let's try now.
All right. I couldn't get unmute, but I am unmuted. It was definitely a light bulb moment to go back and really think about all the times that I've had tremendous growth. And when you said like, oh, there's a specific time you've had like tremendous growth, I can identify like 5 different times in my life, and you're like, oh my gosh, there is a pattern. And it's really cool to identify that pattern and then be able to put that out into the futures, because I can just do the exact same thing and plan for my next growth spurt.
Check this out, the Girovich growth model, right? And like people like, well, how did you grow? Well, you know what? Actually, I'm so glad that you asked that. I actually break it into 5 quadrants, 5 phases, and this is what it is. And then you can help other people identify theirs. So good stuff. Actually, I love it. And let's go, Lisa Torres, key takeaways from you. And then if I have time, we'll get one more. Let's hear from you, Lisa. And I like the colors behind you.
Good morning, guys. Great meeting today. So I really love the growth model too. It made me think about just figuring out what you've done in the past. And it kind of reminds me, I started to do some coaching with Tony Robbins, and that's what they did. They like made you go back to a time where you had success, or where you pushed through, and go back to that moment and replicate that.
Hold on,
Hold on. Hey, Evelyn.
I'm sorry.
This happens a lot. Yeah, it happens quite a bit. You got to make sure you mute yourself. Go ahead, Lisa.
And So I think that that's amazing. And I liked what Otis was talking about, just, figure out what works for you and keep going. Because I definitely have been in those spots where it's like, damn, I'm doing all this work. Like, where am I going to see the progress? So
Yep.
that's where my
And
main.
sometimes it takes a while to see it, right? Look around. It takes people a while to see it. It took me a while to see it, and I'm still looking for it. So I appreciate it, you guys.
One more thing. When I think about where my biggest growth has been, it's been when I implement the daily discipline.
Okay, so there's the model. So then write that out, and then if that model's worked for you in the past, it can work for you again, because the mind doesn't know the difference. So you guys, thank you for being here today. Please make sure to purchase the book 10X. I want to read it as a collective, because you know me. We all read Winning before, Atomic Habits, Catalyst, Contagious. All these books, you guys, have been game changers for me. And they've been game changers for you, because I've heard the conversation and I've watched the things that have evolved from the lessons of those books. So buy that book. 10X is easier than 2X. You guys have an amazing day. For the people that are going to be here in Walnut Creek, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, being here to support Dominique's amazing event. And if you guys still have time, you want to be here, come to the Walnut Creek office by 10 o'clock. It's from 10 to 12. So you guys, as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and absolutely crush your week. Peace. Oh, by the way, Friday, team hike. Lake Chabot. I put the information out in an email. If you guys would like to join, let's do that. Have a great day.
You sure you have enough energy?